Hey guys, let me know if you can hear me, please. Type a 1 in the comments. I'm gonna wait for people to join us. Adding my little graphics here, getting all fancy. If you can hear me, please type a 1 in the comments. If you can hear what I'm saying to you, please type a 1 in the comments. Okay, so we're gonna get started. I'm trying to see. Oh. Hi everyone, come on in. So we kind of touched on how to, some of the tips, some ways of how to go ahead and start thinking about what career choice you want. Now, I'm specifically talking about how to become an OB nurse. OB stands, the categories in OB are labor and delivery and postpartum, or mother baby, however you want to say it. There are many different ways to work with the OB population. You can, they want you to have experience in order to do case management, but case management and working with insurance companies is one way. Like, let's say after you get maybe 2 years experience, you can work on the hospital floor as a labor and delivery nurse, or you can work in postpartum, okay, after the delivery occurs. So that's just 3 job titles you can have. OB case manager. After getting experience, you can do labor and delivery, and you can do mother baby, or you can do NICU too. Sorry, I'm getting the NICU population. You could definitely do NICU. Okay. As for, I want to say, straight out of school, how to become an OB nurse straight out of school. You definitely want to network, because it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. Okay. Labor and delivery is a specialty, and most experienced nurses will tell you, hey, go get 6 months to a year of med-surg experience, then go to a specialty. Will that help you? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. But I did not do it that way. I'm a little bit of a hard-headed person. And I just went straight for labor and delivery. Did I struggle? Yes. Because you're trying to hone in on your skills, and labor and delivery OB has a steep learning curve. It's a specialty. Okay, so if you don't have basic skills, if you don't have the critical thinking needed to go into a specialty, then you might struggle a little bit. But after a while, it gets better. So I'm going to teach you 3 ways to start thinking about getting into a specialty. Okay. Some of the tips that we touched on was actually trying to work on the unit. One way you can get your feet wet is do an externship if your school allows it. Do an externship while you're still in school and try to work on the unit that you want to possibly go into. That's like the very best way you can get your foot in the door, okay? And it's about building relationships, all right? Get the information of the unit manager. Make an impression, build a relationship after your externship, however many months you gotta go before graduation. Keep in contact with your contacts, with your nurses that you are introduced to. If you make friends with a nurse on the floor, on the unit, keep in contact with that person. Meet up with them. Okay, try to be where they're going to be. You find out they're going to a nursing event, go to the nursing event. You have to make an impression. They have to see you, 2 or 3 to 4 times before you can quite say, oh, that's my nurse friend or whatever. So build a relationship is key to getting into labor and delivery, postpartum, NICU, okay, any of those OB units, specialty units. So the first tip I gave was do an externship, externship. Just get on the unit by making an impression and building relationships. Okay. The second way to become a labor and delivery nurse, you want to start thinking about the specialty and what it encompasses. Okay. What does it take to be a labor and delivery nurse? What does it take to be a postpartum nurse? What does it take to be a NICU nurse? And I'm going to share my screen and show you guys how I started to dabble a little bit in labor and delivery before I even graduated, before, I really got to that level of where I could apply for jobs. So first things first, I explored Facebook. I explored Facebook groups, and I wanted to know if I knew some of the lingo, medical terminology, that we learned from school and that I learned from clinicals, and just to see if I knew what they were talking about, just so I can get myself familiar. So I'm going to share my screen, and let's see. I'm going to need you guys to let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Please say yes or no in the comments. Is it too small? Does it need to be a little bit bigger? Let me know. I'm going to make it bigger if I can. Oh, right. There, I got somebody saying they see it. Okay, so the thing is, there are a lot of different groups. How do you know which one is the right one? You don't. Okay, you don't know which one is the right one. So just join the ones that you. So just join, and then if it's not for you, then get out of it. Okay. They have Labor and Delivery Nurses Rock. That's the original group that I joined a couple years ago. The second one was not even, yeah, see, April 2015 is when that first group started, and then the second group was 2017. So I've been in the Labor and Delivery Nurses Rock group since 2015, since it started. And search groups that you want to be in. Okay, search if you want to go to NICU, they have a NICU group. I think I was in it. I want to say I was in it, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, you see Adventures of a Labor Nurse? That's a blog. It's a page. Very, very, very great information comes from a very real, very blunt information. It gives you kind of an idea of what goes on in labor and delivery, just so you can get an idea of if it's for you or not. So let's see, NICU. And see, they have groups as well. NICU nurses, you can join now. See, I've joined it. Even though I'm not interested in a NICU, being a NICU nurse, I still joined it just to see if there was something that I wanted to do. Okay, so while you're in clinicals, what was I going to say? Oh, after clinicals, after your first clinical, you can see if you can work on some of these units as a student nurse. Okay, that's the second tip. See if you can work on the unit as a student nurse. I worked on postpartum mother-baby unit as a student nurse for 1.5 years while I was in school. How did I do that? I did it. I was registry or per diem or whatever you want to call it, PRN. Okay. I made my own schedule. They called me when they wanted me to work. They canceled me when they didn't need me. Best decision I ever made, because now I get to work side by side by a postpartum mother-baby nurse. I saw what it took every day. They're busy. It's not like labor and delivery, but it is busy. It's a different kind of busy. Okay. You have to monitor patients that are fresh from surgery, C-sections, right? Or hysterectomies, depending on the unit. You have to monitor the bleeding from vaginal deliveries, okay? And you have to assess the babies. Now, if you don't want to be a full-fledged NICU nurse, go on postpartum. A myth is your skills are not used in postpartum. That's a myth, okay? You still have to sometimes start IVs. You still get med-surg patients that have to be, there may be a diabetic pregnant mom that comes to your unit. You still have to give insulin. You still have to regulate diets and stuff like that. Okay, so you still use your skills in postpartum. So don't let someone talk you out of going to postpartum because your skills are not going to be used. Okay, it's a specialty. It's a different kind of skill set, right? But we still have med-surg patients on the postpartum unit. You still may have to hang magnesium, depending on the unit policies, okay? So, what did I say? Try to work in the area that you're interested in after your first clinical term. Now, let's say you're closer to graduation and you want to know about the jobs, okay? Let's go over, how do we search? So let's search. So I come from the Chicago area, even though I work in Indiana now, but let's find some job descriptions that we can see. No, indeed, I don't want to make an alert for this. So as you're scrolling, you see Rush University Medical is like our downtown Chicago. Let's click on that one. So you go to the description and it says third shift, meaning overnight. And then it says specialty is labor and delivery. Okay, that's the unit that you're going to be working on. This is the job number that you want to specify in your cover letter if you want to apply for it. So let's say I want to apply for this job. This is the job number that I'm going to put in my cover letter to let the unit manager know, hey, this is the job I applied for, or HR to let them know, hey, this is the specific job that I'm going to apply for. And it tells you position type, inpatient. That means you're going to be in the hospital on the unit. It's not outpatient. It's not home health. You're going to be directly on the unit in the hospital. So now look, job qualifications. This is important because you need to know what it means. Registered nurse 1, labor and delivery, full-time night shift, 12 hours. Okay, you're going to be working 12 hours on the third shift, which is night shift. Look, oh my God, new grads, welcome to apply. This is a very, very, very important statement, okay? Look at the job descriptions. If they're welcoming you, that's what you want to apply to, okay? New grads are welcome to apply, meaning they're willing to train you. They want to mold you, okay? And then it tells you your position highlights. Enhancements allow for timely and effective patient care, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes to your responsibilities. What are you going to be doing on the unit, okay? You're going to be providing direct patient care. You're going to be working with lab. You're going to be working with pharmacy. You're going to be working with physicians. You're going to be working with other nurses. Okay, that's just basically what it says. Collaboratively with other professional nurses, physicians, and L&D staff. You might have an OB tech. And you might be working with a surgical tech, an OB surgical tech, a person that can scrub in for C-sections, right? You need to utilize your critical thinking skills. Okay, this is what you need to have. So this is what is required. A current state of Illinois registered license. Okay, fine. We get that once we pass NCLEX, right? And then bachelor's degree in nursing required. They're looking for BSN RNs, okay? Required, meaning if you have an associate's, I would not apply to this because they're going to ask you in the questions, do you have a BSN? And if you put no, then they're going to the system is going to automatically not accept your application, okay? If you have a master's, it's preferred. You don't have to have a master's, but if you do have a master's, then great, right? And then they want you to be current CPR, BLS certified with the American Heart Association. You have to be walking, standing for a certain amount of time. You have to be able to lift. Now these, okay, are not like required. Well, it says work requires lifting, carrying objects 35 to 40 pounds. Okay, fine. But this is the stuff that you want to look for, where it says required or preferred, right? That's the most important thing. Everybody just tells you, oh, just apply anyway. No, they have algorithms now in their hiring systems that reject your application if they ask you this question and it's a requirement and you put no. So just keep that in mind, okay? But you definitely want to apply to the ones that say new grads welcome to apply, because that's you. If you're a new grad, that means they want to go ahead and hire you. Now, let's go over to, hold on one second, sorry. Now, I want to show you something else. So, this is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional platform where everybody comes and build professional relationships. So let's see. We looked up Rush. We looked up the hospital Rush University. Now let's see what their company is all about. In your interview, you definitely want to know some things about the company. Okay. So LinkedIn will tell you all about it. You guys need to get yourself on LinkedIn while you're in school so that you can start making the networking connections that you need. Okay. So this is their LinkedIn. They're showing you the activities that you do. It says Rush believes in diversity and inclusion, a powerful unity, uniting forces. It tells you about different things that they're doing. They're doing 3D printing. Okay. Just, you want to search what they are getting, if you're going to work for a hospital, you want to know something about them. You want to know their events that's coming up. You want to know where people are going to be. Okay. You want to know what they're involved in. Definitely. And LinkedIn is the way to get that piece of information. And then if somebody asks you in your interview, okay, well, what, basically you can ask them questions based on what information you get from LinkedIn. You can also visit their website too. Okay. And then learn some things from that too. So the third thing, how to become a labor and delivery nurse, was to look into job descriptions. Okay. Job descriptions. And you want to search for the ones that say new grads are welcome to apply. You want to look for in the descriptions that say new grads are welcome to apply, but then you also want to see what their requirements are. Okay. And then talk to some people that are already on the unit. You can use LinkedIn for that too. LinkedIn will show you the people that are already working there, and you can make a connection to them. And you can say, hey, I'm thinking about coming, to this hospital to work. What are your thoughts? Build a relationship. It's all about who you know. Okay. You build a relationship with people. People will take you under their wing. You get a mentor that's working on labor and delivery, NICU, or postpartum, and they will go to bat for you to get you hired in. That's how you become a labor and delivery nurse. That's how you become that's how you're able to go on the different units that you want to work in or into a specialty. This doesn't just apply to OB. You can do it in ER. You can do it in ICU. All of the specialties. Get to know people that are working those units. Okay. Somebody that can pull your application, or somebody that can put in a good word for you. Okay. So I hope this was helpful to you. This is a quick, short video on how to become a labor and delivery nurse fresh out of school. Or if you do want to go to med-surg and get some experience first, that's totally fine. It's nothing wrong with it. Don't let other people's opinion about where you should work and your skills and all of that be your deciding factor. Okay. All of the experienced nurses are going to tell you, go get your skills done up first, which is nothing wrong with going to develop your skills first. Okay. But that's not the only way. That's all I'm saying. It's not the only way. I didn't do it like that. I know a lot of people that go straight to ICU or work in different areas and then and they're just fine. Okay. You're going to get trained on a unit anyway. There's always going to be a learning curve. Even if I've had people that have came from telemetry 8 years to labor and delivery and be like a deer in headlights because it's a steep learning curve. If you're so used to doing stuff one way, now you have to change how you do stuff on this unit because it is a steep learning curve. It's a specialty. The things that you learn from med surg might not apply to the things on that specialty unit. So I'm just letting you know they're going to mold you. They're going to train you anyway. Okay. So you don't necessarily have to not go into a specialty if you don't want to right after graduating. I hope this was very helpful to you. Do you guys have any questions before I let you guys go? I don't want this to be too long. Don't necessarily have to not go into a specialty if you don't want to right after graduating. I hope this was very helpful to you. Do you guys have any? Anybody have any questions? If not, I hope this was helpful. I didn't have a person to interview for this, but if you think of any questions, just post them in a group and I'll answer them for you. I would like to interview an ER nurse educator. She is in our group already. And I think hearing from someone else would be good for you guys. But just know that take baby steps, okay? Take baby steps in the direction that you want to go in, and that's how you start. So if nobody has any questions, I will definitely review this video. Okay, so sorry, I was trying to see if anybody had questions on my phone. I would definitely move into the right direction by doing those baby steps to get you where you need to be. It's not magic. It's not nothing strenuous that you need to go to. You just got to pay attention and set yourself up for success. Okay, so thank you for having me. Thank you for joining in. And until next time.